not because you're better than others, but because you're becoming the best version of yourself. The world treats you the way you see yourself. Carry yourself like the answer, and the world starts asking you the questions. No one can outrun self-belief. It's not ego, it's evidence of purpose. When you walk like you're the one, you force your mind to catch up, and your actions follow like soldiers behind a general. Act as if is not pretending, it's rehearsing your future. A future where doubt has no voice, where fear is a spectator, not a participant. Look in the mirror not for flaws, but for fire. Tell yourself, I am the one they've been waiting for. Say it until your body believes it. Say it until your steps match your statements. The truth, no one is better than you, because no one is you. They don't have your pain, your scars, your perspective. That makes you priceless. Every legend started as an unknown, but they acted like greatness was their birthright. So should you. You weren't born to shrink. You were born to shift the room when you enter, to speak and silence excuses, to try and crush doubt. People may question your confidence. Let them. While they hesitate, you execute. While they compare, you conquer. Act as if you are the best. Not to impress the world, but to remind yourself that you belong at the table, or better yet, you build the table. The key isn't to wait until you feel ready, it's to move as if you already are. Because that's how readiness is born. So fix your posture, speak with intention, walk like every step writes your legacy, breathe like you carry answers, and act like your life depends on it, because it does. The moment you carry yourself like the best, life starts treating you like it. Not because it changed, but because you did. You don't wait to believe after you win. You win because you believed first. The first victory is always invisible. It happens in your mind. You'll never rise higher than the ceiling you place on yourself. If you can't see yourself doing it, you'll never do it. Success doesn't chase the most talented, it finds the most convinced. You have to sell yourself on your own story before anyone else invests in your vision. Act as if you are the best, because belief is not optional. It's required. Confidence isn't a bonus, it's the launch pad. Every mountain starts to shrink the moment you believe you were built to climb it. No one hands you belief, you craft it, brick by brick, choice by choice. You build it when you speak truth over doubt. You build it when you keep your promises to yourself. You build it every time you show up when quitting would have been easier. Belief is not blind. It sees more than the fear, more than the failure, more than the past. It sees what could be and dares to act like it already is. People ask, what if I'm not good enough? A wrong question. Ask, what if I never give myself the chance to be? You don't earn belief, you decide it. You declare it, and then you prove it. Daily, you dress like you're going somewhere. You speak like your words carry weight. You stand like your presence means something, because it does. The world reflects how you see yourself. See yourself as a threat. You become one, not to people, to limitation, to hesitation, to every lie that said you're average. You're not here to hope it happens. You're here to believe it's inevitable, because you're going to outwork, outlast, and outgrow every version of yourself that used to settle. The hardest part isn't doing the work. It's believing you're worth the reward. And once you do, everything changes. You stop asking for permission. You stop lowering your voice. You stop shrinking to fit. You command the room without needing to dominate. That's the power of belief. It's not loud, it's steady. It doesn't need to prove anything. It knows what it is, and it makes decisions from that place. When you believe, you don't just show up. You show up with intention. You don't wait to feel like the best. You act like it, until your reality aligns. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment. You're not pretending, you're preparing. Preparing to be what you've always been, but maybe never gave yourself permission to be. So let them underestimate, let them doubt, let them laugh. They won't for long, because belief is a quiet storm. It builds in the shadows, and when it breaks through, everything changes. It doesn't start on stage. It starts when no one is watching, when you keep going after the failure, when you speak life over your lowest days, when you look at the mirror and say, I'm not there yet, but I'm on the way, and I believe in that person. The person you act like today is the person you become tomorrow. So move like you mean it, speak like it's already yours, show up like you've already won, because belief doesn't wait, belief leads, and achievement follows. Belief got you to stand up. Confidence gave you permission to walk in the room. But now you need to become the person you've been pretending not to be. Because identity, that's the engine. It powers everything. The problem is never what you can do. It's who you think you are. You can't outperform your identity. You'll always come back to who you believe yourself to be. So if you want to rise, you have to shift your identity, not one day, not someday, now. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your doubt, your delay, or your detours. You are the architect. You are the driver. You are the story in motion. Act as if you are the best, because your identity becomes your reality. Think about it. If you identify as average, you'll sabotage every opportunity that looks like excellence. If you see yourself as the underdog, you'll keep proving it even when no one's doubting you anymore. People don't quit because it's hard. They quit because their identity doesn't match the level they're aiming for. You have to become the type of person who follows through, the type who doesn't need a deadline to deliver, the type who doesn't wait to feel motivated, they move anyway. That's identity. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build, one decision at a time, one hard day at a time, one uncomfortable step at a time. You want to change your life, stop changing plans, start changing identity. Say it with your chest. I am someone who does hard things. I am someone who finishes. I am someone who walks like the answer, not the question. That's not ego, that's clarity. That's what happens when your internal world finally matches what you were born to become. Because here's the truth, you already have the potential. What you need is the alignment. The outer world is slow, but identity is instant. You decide it, and then you start behaving like it, and every time you do, the gap closes between who you are and who you were afraid to be. Some of you are showing up with ambition, but stuck in an identity that's outdated. You want the results of a champion, but still think like the beginner. You want to lead the room, but you keep talking like a guest. Change that. Change it now. How you see yourself in silence is how you show yourself in the spotlight. And if you're still calling yourself unworthy, you'll never recognize your own breakthroughs when they show up. So speak differently, walk differently, not because you're faking, but because you're forming. You don't rise by chance. You rise by character, by habits, by identity. Every time you say, I'm not that type of person, you've already decided your limit. But the truth, you can be that person if you're willing to act like it before you feel like it. That's the hard part, and that's why most stay stuck. They wait until they feel like a finisher instead of finishing and letting the feeling follow. The world sees your outcomes, but you shape those outcomes with the person you decide to become behind closed doors, and it's not about what they call you, it's about what you answer to. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be intentional, because identity is built in repetition, in resistance, in self-respect. You either reinforce the old version of you, or you rehearse the future one. Every choice adds weight to one or the other. So choose the version that scares you a little, the one that speaks louder, stands taller, moves quicker, the one that doesn't need applause, just alignment, because once identity shifts, reality starts following instructions. And when that happens, there's no turning back. You've adjusted your identity. Now it's time to expand your vision, because becoming someone new isn't enough. You have to see a reality that doesn't exist yet. And act like it's already yours. Greatness starts in the mind long before the results show up in your life. If you can't imagine it, you'll never pursue it with purpose, and that's why most people stay small. They only chase what they've already seen. But real leaders, real builders, real creators, they chase what they've only imagined. You don't need proof to act, you need vision. Proof comes later. The mind is the blueprint, the body is the builder. And the world, it's just waiting for your instructions. But here's the trap most people stop imagining once life gets heavy. They trade vision for survival, trade purpose for comfort, trade what could be for what's safe. That's not greatness. That's maintenance. You weren't built to maintain, you were built to manifest, and that begins when you dare to picture a life that's louder than your limits. This is where most people quit, because imagination requires courage. It means you'll look crazy before you look right. You'll look arrogant before you look accurate. You'll look too far ahead until the world finally catches up. But that's how it works. You must see it before they believe it. You must walk in it before they recognize it. Imagination is the internal forecast that tells your actions how to dress for the future. You can't wait until the door opens. You must walk like the room already has your name on it. Because if you keep visualizing failure, you'll act like it's inevitable. But if you train your mind to expect greatness, you'll move like it's natural. The life you want won't show up by accident. It shows up by imagination, then execution. See it, speak it, stretch into it. Because if the vision doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. If it doesn't challenge your comfort, it won't change your outcome. You can't keep thinking like the old you and expect to live a new life. Every breakthrough starts with a mental picture, a glimpse of what could be, then a decision to chase it like it's already real. But don't confuse fantasy with vision. Fantasy stays in your head. Vision demands movement. It demands discipline. It demands that you live like your dream is on the line, because it is. You won't drift into greatness. You drive there, and the GPS is built with imagination. You want results you've never had. Start visualizing days you've never lived. Start acting like your future is watching, because it is. The version of you 5 years from now is hoping you stop playing small, is hoping you stop shrinking your goals to fit your current resources. Imagination doesn't ask for permission. It creates a demand. It makes you stretch toward what should be, not what currently is. When the present says, "This is where you are," imagination replies, "This is not where I stay." The world will call it delusion, but your results will call it preparation. It's not enough to change your words. You must change your mental movie. Close your eyes and see the version of you that already crossed the finish line. See how they walk, how they talk, how they don't flinch when pressure shows up, and then bring that version into every room you enter, because imagination isn't childish, it's strategic. It's the beginning of every revolution, personal or global. Every skyscraper was once a sketch, every empire was once an idea, and every transformation starts in the unseen. So stop saying, "I'll believe it when I see it." Start saying, "I'll see it until I believe it," and then go act like you've already arrived. Because if you can see it clearly, you can move toward it powerfully, and once imagination takes root, reality starts rearranging.